Missouri.
The Miami Public Library is celebrating 100 years of bringing books and education into the community. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with how this place has impacted so many in Miami and the history behind it.
Plus, it's time for the 30th annual CECIL FLOYD Craft Show in Joplin.
Cloudy but mild for our Saturday. We kept things dry for this evening so far, but I'm watching not only rain chances for tomorrow, but more rain chances for the middle of the week ahead. We'll break that down coming up.
Seneca hosting Mexico in the Class 3 state quarterfinals. The highlights in sports.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Miami Public Library celebrated a big milestone today. Its 100th birthday. So to celebrate, the library hosted their annual book sale in addition to a birthday party for the entire community. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky has how the library hopes to continue to enrich the town with books and knowledge in the upcoming 100 years.
Hopefully the building and everything will still be here and grow even more in the next 100 years.
The Miami Public Library is celebrating 100 years of bringing books into the community, but its history actually goes back much farther.
They existed a little longer than that, but the first building, the first actual library building, opened in November of 1921, and it was a Carnegie building, and it was the last Carnegie grant funds in Oklahoma.
Marcia Johnson, director of the Miami Public Library, says the library has a long and rich history, so they wanted to make sure it turned 100 in style.
We're having some musicians, Dr. Paul Furmeister on cello and Tammy Wilcox on the harp. They're going to entertain us for a while. We're going to have a birthday cake, and there's going to be a children's program upstairs. So we have a lot of cool stuff going on.
The birthday party and book sale brought people in from all over Miami, including the Edens.
I mean, it's always been here. I've always seen it when I drive by, and 100 years is pretty crazy, I feel like, for anything really, especially around here.
Haley Eden, who's lived here her whole life, says it's impressive to see something stick around in her town for this long.
In this town for 100 years and that it's still running. You don't see things stay for that long anymore.
She adds that it's nice to still be able to return to a place that holds childhood memories.
My mom was a big reader and she was a stay-at-home mom, so she would bring me weekly. We'd just pick out books and do things on the computers together and just have a good time.
And even after 100 years, the library continues to make an impact.
I definitely think it enriches the community.
In Miami, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
The library hopes to have another book sale sometime next spring. Speaking of spring, almost spring-like out there, Nick Kelly joins us.
Yeah, hard to come by an almost late November day, Chris, with temperatures pushing into the 60s. But despite mostly cloudy skies, which we're still seeing plenty of from 7th and Rangeline, that's how temperatures fared today. After starting at 43, we topped out at 63 this afternoon. Nothing underneath the cloud cover just yet. That being said, an upper level wave along with a cold front starting to cross over to Kansas Turnpike. Both of those two systems will try to bring some scattered showers for some our way as we go, especially through the overnight. But a bit of a contrast in temperatures right now, from 45 in Iola to 54 in Anderson, 56 over in Carthage. Eventually, we're all going to settle back into the, let's say, lower 40s in our northwestern counties to about 50 around Joplin. As the front rolls in, you can see those scattered showers popping up during the overnight into the morning. But we dry out and clear out for the afternoon, Chris, with temperatures pushing back near 58. We'll break down the rest of the week here in a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. The CECIL FLOYD PTA held its 30th annual craft fair today. Now, for the past 30 years, PTA has held the show to help raise money for the school. There were 125 vendors on hand for the craft fair with a variety of items available, and nearly every classroom was packed to capacity as more than 1,000 people came to shop around.
It's a big job, but it's one of those that it's very rewarding to know that we're keeping it going, and we're keeping some of our veterans vendors that come back for decades. They're still here with us. Our customers that have been bringing generations of family. It's wonderful, and in return, we're giving it back to the school, to our kids. So it's a great reward.
Now, to help raise money for the school, vendors are charged a booth fee, and then there's a $3 admission. Colette says in the past, they've managed to bring in upwards of $20,000 for CECIL FLOYD. The Joplin Empire Market kicked off its 4th annual holiday market. Now, this market included special holiday festivities like photos with that guy, Santa, and other holiday-themed vendors. In addition to Santa being in attendance, the market will also be hosting special holiday programs for kids and local charities from now until Christmas. The Empire Market says ultimately it's their way of giving back during this season.
We have more jewelry, we have handmade leather goods, we have a local children's book author, we have our alpaca products back just for the holiday season. So it's really a way to come in and show your support for the small businesses that help make up our community.
The holiday market will continue every Saturday until Christmas and will also have a special event on Christmas Eve. Well, James River Church spent today preparing Thanksgiving baskets before giving them away to those in need. All 4 campuses, including the one in Joplin, packed a total of 1,400 baskets to provide complete Thanksgiving meals to the community. And when we say complete, we're talking all the fixins. That's including pie, yams, green beans, and of course, a turkey.
You know, a lot of these families are driving up, not able to provide for a number of different reasons, like you listed, of COVID, of falling on hard times in this season. And so, just to see the reaction of smiling and just being thankful for it, it's why we're here. It's why we came out early. It's why we have hundreds of volunteers showing up and giving back to the community.
James River partnered with Price Cutter to provide this year's meals. Tonight, there's calm in Kenosha, Wisconsin, after protesters took to the streets in other cities following the not guilty verdict on all counts for Kyle Rittenhouse. CBS's Nancy Chen is in Kenosha, where she covered the trial from day one.
This gathering has been declared a riot.
Police in Portland, Oregon declared a riot Friday night as a group of 200 protesters broke windows and threw objects at officers. In Brooklyn, New York,
it's absurd to me, and it really reveals how broken the system is.
Hundreds made their voices heard, objecting to a Wisconsin jury's decision to acquit Kyle Rittenhouse.
The jury reached the correct verdict. Self-defense is not illegal.
Rittenhouse expressed relief after the verdict, seen in advance clips from a Fox News documentary.
It's been a rough journey, but we made it through it.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
The jury of 7 women and 5 men deliberated for about 26 hours. Finding the 18-year-old not guilty on all 5 counts for the shootings that left 2 men dead, including Anthony Huber.
We were in shock. We couldn't believe it.
Anthony's father, John Huber, called Rittenhouse a coward and says their family hasn't been able to get closure.
Every time they show the footage, it's like I wanted to change it.
500 National Guard troops had been stationed on standby ahead of the verdict. But today, just blocks from the courthouse along Lake Michigan,
like nothing ever happened.
Neighbors raked leaves, while others got the last picks of the season at a farmer's market.
I think people are a little hesitant to come out, so I think they want to get through this weekend.
Rittenhouse had been facing a life sentence if he had been convicted of the most serious of charges, first-degree intentional homicide. Instead, he now says he plans to pursue a career in nursing. Nancy Chen, CBS News, Kenosha, Wisconsin.
And we take this time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. Sergeant Alan Nusser served in the Army in Europe and Greece, his hometown, Miami. We're proud to recognize Sergeant Alan Nusser, tonight's 4-state hero. We'll still ahead on the KOAM News at 10. Amazon may drop a major credit card provider following a disagreement. And the nation's largest nursing home association is warning of negative impacts for the elderly hidden in the Biden administration's Build Back Better plan.
Prizes.
Amazon may drop a major credit card partner while an ongoing payment dispute continues. The online e-commerce retailer says it may discontinue Visa as a co-branded card partner because of a disagreement about how much Visa charges for use of its card. In October, Visa started charging 1.5% of the transaction value for credit card payments online or over the phone between the UK and the European Union, and 1.15% for debit card transactions. Amazon says it would stop taking payments from Visa credit cards in the UK starting next January on the 19th. Visa declined to comment on the co-branded card issues. Nation's largest nursing home association is warning of negative impacts for the elderly hidden in the Biden administration's Build Back Better plan. The American Healthcare Association and National Center for Assisted Living say some provisions in the social spending plan could cause facility closures or limit acceptance of elderly into those facilities. The bill would require the nursing home industry to increase staffing by 25%, with RNs, licensed practical nurses, and certified nurses, nursing assistants, and increase the number of RNs on staff at least 8 hours a day. The association says the industry has lost 221,000 jobs since the start of the pandemic, and new hire requirements would cost more than $11 billion a year. 3 people were injured following a firearm being discharged near the main security checkpoint at America's busiest airport on Saturday. TSA says a screening x-ray alerted them to the presence of a gun in a passenger's bag at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. When agents began searching the bag, the passenger lunged for it, setting off the firearm. The suspect ran from the scene, but Atlanta police say they know his identity. Sources say the bullet was fired into the passenger's bag and did not strike anyone, but 3 adults were injured during the chaotic scene after the shot was fired, and 2 were hospitalized. The FAA issued a ground stop for the entire airport at 1:30, which lasted about 2 hours. White House is monitoring the investigation as both the FBI and ATF have joined in to help Atlanta police. A number of passengers who were traveling on one of the busiest travel weekends of the year missed flights during the security shutdown. Delta, the largest carrier at the airport, is offering travel waivers to passengers who might have been affected. A little later on the KOAM News at 10, what day is it?
But first, we have a quick moving system on the way for tomorrow and another one for the middle of the week. We'll break the whole thing down when we come back.
It's a lifetime powertrain warranty. Your place to save.
A lot more cloud cover today, sure, but we didn't see anything fall underneath the clouds just yet, so we managed to keep things pretty dry for this Saturday, this go around. We're still looking okay even right now from that live shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort outside of Seneca, Missouri. As far as temperatures go, despite the clouds, we actually had a mild afternoon, milder than the lower to middle 50s that we saw yesterday afternoon, and thankfully a lot better to start this morning out, mid 40s. Heck of a lot better than the lower 30s that JOPUN Regional saw yesterday morning. But this afternoon, can't deny it, 63 degrees at JOPUN Regional. Not a bad way to wrap up the Saturday. But we are looking quiet now, and despite mostly cloudy skies, it has dropped off a bit since our afternoon highs. 56 in JOPUN with the south wind at 7. Humidity starting to climb back up, 62%. Not too terribly high just yet, but it is indicative of more moisture trying to pull in, which could result in a few showers during the overnight. We'll break that down in a moment. But north and west of Joplin and Pittsburgh, we're seeing mid 40s to about 50. Around the Joplin metro, still trying to hold on to some mid 50s, certainly across the rest of southwestern Missouri. And that is still due to all the cloud cover that's locked in as we go throughout the course of the night. No rain showing up yet, but still we have our cold front hopping over the Kansas Turnpike, and upstairs our upper level wave quickly coming toward us out from the west and northwest. Both of these systems working together to keep the cloud cover in place as we go through the rest of tonight. But here's 2 a.m. As those two features try to pull in some more moisture, I think it'll have just enough to spark a few showers, maybe some random areas of drizzle, especially in southwestern parts of Missouri, and some more scattered showers trying to sneak south of I-44 as we get towards sunrise, 6 a.m. on your Sunday. Other than that, we are looking at mainly a chilly start. Most of us around 50 in Joplin. Elsewhere, we could even have some lower 40s north and west of Joplin. But everybody will go from mostly cloudy skies in the morning, partly sunny by noon, even trying to turn mostly sunny before the day is all said and done. Despite some returning sun, it's not going to allow much wiggle room in terms of temperatures to do any warming up. 50 in the morning, 55 by noon, highs near 58. And by the way, the shower chances we have in the morning shouldn't really amount to much, maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain at worst for those that see any rain. Mostly clear for tomorrow night, Monday morning, as lows drop back into the upper 20s and lower 30s. And even with partly to mostly sunny skies, we're going to trend a little bit warmer, maybe looking at lower 50s for tomorrow. Make that Monday afternoon. The rest of the week, here's Tuesday. We briefly hop back in the mild side of the jet as we keep dry. That'll push us into the lower 60s for Tuesday. Wednesday, our next wave coming in wants to bring us some scattered showers late Wednesday, but the rain chances want to try and ramp up for Thanksgiving morning. We may start with rain Thanksgiving, but I do want to stress this. We clear things out once we get past Thanksgiving morning. But it is going to mean the cool Thanksgiving this go around. We'll go 58 tomorrow, 52 Monday, 60 on Tuesday, 62 on Wednesday, Chris, before that midweek wave rolls on in. 39 for a cold start Thanksgiving morning, but highs near 46. Dry Thanksgiving afternoon and evening, and staying dry and back in the 50s starting Black Friday and Saturday.
Well, as long as the air is dry, as long as your turkey's not dry on Thanksgiving, we'll be in good shape, I think.
And thankfully it's not cold enough during the morning for any wintry weather. Still looking like just rain.
That's good. It's a little, I say it's a little too early for wintry weather, but you never know around here.
Yeah, but at least this go around, any local travel, we'll just have maybe rain in the morning to deal with.
Sounds good. Nick, thank you so much. Turning to sports, Pittsburg State men's basketball searching for its first win of the year.
PSU hits the floor tonight against Southwest Baptist. Those highlights coming up. Plus, Missouri Southern aims to take down 6th-ranked Truman State. That and a whole lot more next.
Nick Kelly.
At Dentures and Implant Solutions of Joplin.
High school football playoffs continue today in Missouri. The Seneca Indians won the district championship last week in Cody Hilburn's first year as head coach of the program. Today, Seneca gets a home game against Mexico in the Class 3 state quarterfinals. Mexico threatening on the first drive, but the Indians' defense comes up huge with the 4th down stop in the red zone. Scoreless after 1, then Jackson Mars takes the handoff, crosses the goal line from 4 yards out. Seneca on top. Mexico responds the following drive. Andrew Runge runs it in 8 yards for the Bulldogs touchdown. Game tied up at 7, and that's the score at the break. In the third, Ty Sims finds Michael White over the middle. He takes it all the way in for the touchdown, and the Bulldogs have their first lead of the game. Later, Seneca gets the big play they need. The ball is dropped, and Dominic Wheeler comes away with the turnover. The Indians fumble on the very next play. Bulldogs go down and score off their possession off the turnover. It's White getting his 2nd touchdown, and Seneca falls to Mexico 20-7. The reigning Class 2 champs are just 2 wins away from making it back to the state championship game. Lamar meets Ava today in the quarterfinal round. Tigers up 7-0. Logan Crockett finds a lane, breaks a tackle, and there he goes, 60-yard touchdown run. Lamar up 14-0. Ava answers back. Zach Richards rips off a touchdown run of his own. Lamar with a 7-point lead at half. The Tigers score again in the third. Joel Beshore in the air this time. Play action pass to Austin Wilkerson. That pushes the Tigers back up 14. Ava fakes the punt to set up the field goal, but Lamar blocks it. Lamar rolls to the semifinals with a 35-14 win. The Missouri Southern men are hosting Day 2 of the Chris Tucker Memorial Classic. The Lions picked up an overtime win in Game 1 on Friday. Today, Missouri Southern hits the floor against 6th-ranked Truman State. Christian Bundy hits the 3 to start the scoring for the Lions. Then it's Lawson Jenkins with the triple from the corner. Missouri Southern trails 39-30 at half. In the second, Keaton Mitchell, all alone, knocks it down. RJ Smith has an answer. He finished with a team-high 25 points. Also a nice night for Avery Taggart. He adds 3 here, finishing with 18. At this point, Lions down by 6. Missouri Southern makes it close down the stretch, but Truman closes it out, winning 95-89.
That was part of the way our guys fought back. The guys that were out there, Alex, Avery, RJ, and Winston, just fighting and keep on scrapping. I think we were down 14 with like 3 or 4 minutes to go, and able to cut it down to 4 and at least give themselves a chance. But again, they're the team they are. They stepped up and they made their free throws like they're supposed to, and kind of sealed the deal.
Pittsburg State also in action against Southwest Baptist. Early in the first, Cameron Huffner with a three-pointer to put the Gorillas up by 1. Later in the first, here he is again, drops the defender, makes the bucket. Pitt State up 43-37 at half. In the second, Quentin Hardrick Jr. drives to the net and puts it in. Neck and neck here, but then it's all Bearcats. Quinn Nelson hits the 3. The Bearcats pulling away. Southwest Baptist completes the comeback to beat Pitt State 81-72.
Played a really strong first half. I thought we executed well. We did a pretty good job on the boards. Second half was the exact opposite. You know, they came out in the first couple minutes, took the lead, and then we spent most of the half playing catch up. And you know, obviously didn't play as well as we did the first half, but you know, there's a lot of things to learn from this game.
Such a tough one there for Pitt State, leading at half and then just not able to hang on to it there.
No, not unfortunately, but they still made a good game of it, and that's what the thing is you learn from that.
Right, I think they're inching towards that first win. So,
all right, Danny, thank you so much. We're going to be right back after this.
There's an easier $1 in total cash and goal rewards.
Saturday marks National Child's Day. November 20th of every year, the day meant to celebrate the country's children, their dreams and ambitions, and ways adults can help make those a reality. The observance is the brainchild of a retired school counselor who got a one-time proclamation signed by President George W. Bush in 2001. National Child's Day turned into an annual observance in the years following. I've got some children at home, and they'll be happy to know they have a whole day just for them, because they already think every day is just for them.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, and I'm sorry, I cannot let it get away.
You're really fixated on this.
The turkeys in Nick's forecast graphics, I cannot get over his turkeys. He's got the one that has no idea what's about to happen to him.
Okay.
And then this one, I mean, Danny said he's cute.
I think they're both cute. Yeah. I like
so
it.
Let's take a look at the turkey cast.
Yeah, we are going to have to deal with the midweek storm system, everybody, but we're talking about just rain chances late Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. That's the only rain chances we'll have for our Thanksgiving. We'll clear things out for the rest of the day, but you can see how we don't warm up much. 39 in the morning, 46 for the afternoon on Turkey Day. But before we deal with that, 58 tomorrow. There's some scattered showers in the morning, but overall, we're looking pretty good for tomorrow afternoon.
That's got to be why those turkeys are so happy, because it's going to be a nice, dry Thanksgiving Eve for dinner.
Yeah, and it's not snow yet.
Not yet.
As long as there's no snow.
No, thank you, Nick. The second you say that four-letter word, you're gone.
Okay.
All right, guys, thank you so much. That's our time for now. We'll see you next weekend. Good night.